So my name is Pierce Lowary, and I am a student in 11th grade. So I am a Reischauer Scholar studying with the Stanford University's Stanford Program on International and Cross-Cultural Exchange, or SPICE. And so what we study in the Reischauer Scholars Program is the state of US-Japan relations, including all the way back from the earliest stages of Japanese history all the way to today. And that includes issues that affect Japan's relationship with its neighbors and other countries in the East Asian region, including the issue of the comfort woman. So that particular issue is of the utmost importance to Japan's relations with nations like South Korea and China, even today. And so we have a very large role to play in hopefully bringing about a resolution to the situation and bringing about atonement on the part of Japan and an apology on the part of Japan for the victims of its prior actions. Okay, so if you could tell her I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to interview with her, and I'm glad she's allowed me to hear her experiences and hopefully do some work for the better and get the issue recognized on the part of the Japanese government.
할머님, 저한테 그 인터뷰 할 수 있는 기회를 주셔서 되게 감사합니다. 그리고 이 학생이 미래에 할머니 도와주시게 이 문제를 해결할 수 있게 학생들을 위해서 열심히 일하겠다고 그럽니다.
So my first question for her is, how did what you experienced as a victim of the Japanese occupation in Korea affect you after the war was over? Since the war ended, what have you done personally to spread the call for action and let the voices of the victims be heard?
할머님, 이 경험을 위안부 경험을 하시고, 그러니까 어떤 일을 주로 하셨나요? 그러니까 이 상황에 대해서 어떻게 문제를 해결을 하려고 어떤 활동을 하셨나요?
뭐 활동이라고 할 게 없어요. 우리가 이론에 대고 공식 사죄하고 법정 배상하라고 요구를 하는데 그걸 하지 않아 갖고 우리가 상당히 가슴 앓고 있어요. 그래서 어떻게 하면 우리가 일본 사람한테 사죄를 받겠는가? 할머니들이 이제는 다 죽고 며칠 안 남았는데 상기도 질질 끌고 나가면서 할머니들 그냥 모예만 하고 한 번이라도 우리 귀에 시원한 말 한마디도 못하고 들어 안 오고 점점 말한다는 게 일본에서 말하는 게 할머니들 욕만 하고 할머니들 잘 나쁘다고 하지. 누구하고 우리가 말해서 이 문제를 해결하게 있는가? 누구한테 가서 해야 되겠는가?
Basically, we've been working to gain official apology from the Japanese government. We want them to acknowledge their wrongdoing. Now most of the victims have already passed and there are only a few left, but they haven't received any comment that's completely satisfying to them. And actually in Japan, people are saying not such good things about them. So this is what she's been doing, wanting to get an official apology.
So I remember hearing from the interview or the Q&A session just before the screening that she and the other comfort woman have actually been protesting, not just for days on end or months on end, but for years on end, involving, over 1,000 visits to the Japanese embassy. Obviously, for anybody heading to the embassy, week after week and seeing no change in Japan's foreign policy or no change, and Japanese officials, continuing to deny the reality of the situation, and continuing to not accept, and understand the way the victims feel and their conviction, it still must be very draining, and at some point, I imagine even the most powerfully convicted people might start to feel discouraged. So my question is, have you ever felt discouraged? Have you ever felt like, what point does all of this have if I'm doing this every week and Japan still won't, recognize, my calls for action or my cries for compensation or reparations? And how have you managed to kind of keep motivated through all of this? What has it been that has motivated you to get up every week and pay the visit to the embassy?
할머님, 그 데모를 벌써 24년 넘게 하셨고요. 일본 대사관 앞에서 1000번을 넘게 하셨는데 아직까지도 변화가 없는데 좀 이거에 대해서 이렇게 포기한 적이 없었나요? 그리고
포기를 안 하죠. 포기하면 안 되지.
There's no 그러니까 실망하거나 좀 이렇게 하고 싶지 않은 때도 있었나요?
그래도 우리는 데모 나가는 게 일본서 오늘은 어떤 말이 오겠나, 반가운 말 듣겠는가 해서 우리는 데모 나갈 지는 그렇게 하고 나가는데, 나가 할라 진진히 데모하고 나면 시원한 말 한마디 듣지 못하고 우리가 어떻게 하면 이 일본 사람한테 좀 좋은 소리 들을까 하고 데모로 계속 나가 해도 거기고 시원한 소리 하나도 뭐 안 듣겠는데, 우리는 한번 해보자. 네가 이기나 내가 이기나 해보자. 절대로 포기를 할 수 없지요. 그 소리 포기를 안 하고 있어요. 그래서 포기를 안 하고 지금 이래 딴 나라 말도 할 줄 모르면 딴 나라로 찾아와갖고 우리 좀 도와달라고 할 수 없잖아요. 우리 힘으로 할 수가 없으니까 이제 찾아와갖고 우리 좀 도와달라고 해서, 오늘 세계적으로 사람들이 누구나 많이 우리 역사를 알고 일본 사람들이 많이 압박을 해야 이름 못 나게, 그렇게 해야 어찌겠는지 지금 같아서는 안적도 끔찍도 안 하니까 우리가 왜 포기를 하게 했는가. 절대로 포기는 아예 합니다. 우리.
She will never she will never not do it. She's gonna keep on doing it until she hears the satisfying answer from the Japanese government. And she wants to see who will win. She will never she will never give up. And because unfortunately, after all these series of events, still they did not get a satisfying apology from the government. So this is why they came to America to ask for help. And she hopes that history is accurately taught so that something like this will not ever happen again. And she will never give up.
So, to Helmani, what does she believe? So it must have been a very long journey and a very difficult journey, especially for someone of her age, to come all the way to America. A very long voyage. And I think it says a lot about her motivation and her conviction to resolve the issue and to get the recognition and the apology that her and so many other victims deserve. That being said, as Americans and as American students, is there anything that we can do to help and to get the issue resolved? What's the most effective way that we can make an impact?
할머님이 이렇게 어렵게 이렇게 긴 여행을 오셨는데, 그러면 젊은 고등학생들은 어떻게 하면은 할머님을 도와드릴 수 있을까요?
원래 그 청년들이 이런 선전을 많이 들어야 된다고. 예. 그래서 사람 많이 이 역사를 알고 그 학생들은 앞으로 장래 희망이 있는 아들이. 근데 그 희망 있는 사람들하고 손을 잡아야 우리가 승리를 할 수 있지. 그 전에는 우리 힘으로는 해결할 수 없잖아요. 그래서 우리는 어떻게 하나 학교 학생들을 잘 교육해서 장래에서 앞으로 닥쳐오는 역사를 잘 생각하고 지나간 역사를 외우하고 저기 다시는 우리가 이런 나라 오지 않게끔 전쟁을 하지 말고 전쟁이 없는 나라, 평화적으로 사는 나라. 우리는 이양 당했지만은 우리 아픈 이런 날이 또 다시 돌아오지 않게끔 해달라고 청년들한테 우리는 부탁하고 싶다고.
Students, young students like you need to learn and hear of their stories and know the history accurately. And you have to know the history accurately, and you are the future. And they cannot do this, they cannot solve this issue alone. So they really need your help. They like to hold your hand and do this together. Education is very important, information, awareness is very important. So make sure that history is learned, and so that something similar will not happen. And it's actually the world without war, peaceful world. And although they were the victims of unfortunate crime, but she hopes that nothing ever, like nothing similar ever happen again here. And so she would like to ask young students like you to help and support her.
Absolutely. So is that time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So to Honoree, I would like to say, once again, thank you so much, honestly, for giving me the opportunity to hear what you have to say as a victim. And I know the issue is very personal to you, and it's of the utmost importance. And even though it must be very, very frustrating, once again, to have gone weeks and weeks and weeks and months and months and months and years even without any acknowledgement or even a refutation of what happened to yourself and so many other victims of the Japanese occupation of Korea, at least you can be very confident that myself and the other students I'm engaged with, and I will do everything that I can to spread the word about the situation and make sure that their issue and their position is honestly presented and presented to as many people as possible. And I am confident that soon she will get, soon people will understand in both Japan and Korea will understand the human aspect of the situation and grasp the gravity of what fully happened, and her and the memory of so many other thousands of victims will finally be honored. So once again, I just like to say thank you, and it's been an honor to interview with her.
할머니 영광입니다. 할머님이 이렇게 시간을 주셔서 인터뷰를 할 수 있게 해주셔서 너무나 감사하고요. 다른 학생들한테 많이 알릴 거고요. 이 상황이 정말 정확하게, 그러니까 상황이 정확하게 전달될 수 있게 열심히 노력하겠습니다. 그래서 이 사실을 많이 알리고 일본하고 한국 모든 사람들한테 사실을 알리고 돌아가신 분들한테도 영광이 되게 열심히 노력하겠습니다.
말씀하는 게 참 고마운데 어디나 학생들 교육 잘해서 훌륭한 사람 만들어달라고. 그래 훌륭한 사람이 돼야 우리나라를 잘 지키고 앞으로 이런 아픈 나라가 오지 않겠고 이렇게 우리가 과거의 역사를 놓고 보면 이런 나라에서 우리가 일본 사람한테 끌려가 고통받고 정말 병신이 돼서 왔는데 누구한테 말을 할 수 있는가? 누구하고 말할 수가 없어요. 이래서 댕김에서 지금 좀 힘을 더 봐달라고 이과정 찾아와 얘기하는데 어떻게 하나 많이 학생들을 많이 좀 발전시켜갖고 빨리 할머니들 다 죽기 전에 할머니들 냉이를 좀 회복시키게 해달라고 부탁드린다고 그러지.
Education. You have to be educate. You have to get your education so that you can become somebody. With your education, you can become somebody that could make a difference. Unfortunately, they were from a weak country, so that they really actually had no power, and they were forced, and they were taken and violated.
Right.
So young people really have to be motivated and work really hard to develop yourself, so that once you become successful, you have the power to make changes and help people. And hopefully, people like you, young people, can help to support restoring her honor that was taken away.
So Helmini, if I could just know your name and your age as well.
할머니 성함하고 나이가 어떻게 되십니까?
이름은 이옥선이고 나는 27년생입니다.
My name is Lee Ok-sun. I was born in 1927 and I am 90 years old.
아, 선생은 아니고 학생이야.
예, 학생이에요.
학생의 이름은 뭐예요?
이름이 what was your name again? What was your name again?
So my name is Pierce Lowry.
이 학생 이름은 Pierce Lowary.
너무 고맙습니다.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
어떻게 그 학생이 우리 다른 나라 문제, 한국 피해자 문제, 특히 그 과거 70년 전에 문제를 아는지 물어봐 할머니 한번.
아이 떨리는데.
안 들려요? 그러니까 왜 이 학생이 할머니 이런 문제에 관심이 생겼냐 물어보세요.
내가 그 말 하자 하는데.
아니 이 학생이 어떻게? 이 학생은 어떻게?
학생은 어떻게 돼서 우리 문제를 알게 됐어요.
How did you get interested in this issue that happened like 70 plus years ago?
Well, ever since I was a child, my mother was Iranian and my father was actually American. And so from the very moment I was born, I've had the opportunity to know that beyond my house and beyond my state and beyond my country, there's an entire other world out there. And at one point, through exploring my other culture, I discovered my passion for international affairs and the world around us, and especially as it has to do with peace and law. And so,
Peace and love?
and law.
Law.
Right. And so I took a course in the Netherlands that was 3 or so weeks of international law, righting the wrongs of people who have committed genocide, of all types of war crimes and crimes against humanity, innocent victims and massacres and so on and so forth. And it was through that I discovered that what I really cared about was bringing justice to those whose voices are not heard, or who need help to make their voices heard. And so once I discovered the comfort woman issue through through the RSP program, through the program that studies the relations between Japan and the US, and as well Japan and other countries, and after I watched the movie, of course, it had a very strong impact on me, because I felt like, you know, the gravity of the crime itself was comparable to the Holocaust and many other genocides and things like those. But those crimes they've had tribunals working on them. They've had the perpetrators, they've been brought to justice, and the victims have had justice. But with the so-called comfort woman, it's been 80 years, just like you mentioned, and not only has there been no justice for the victims, but the government of Japan is actively denying that you know, such atrocities ever occurred. And so to me, that's just, not only is it tragic, it's outrageous, it's beyond criminal, it's just it's deplorable. And so to me, you know, even though I'm not Japanese or I'm not Korean, and this issue hasn't affected me personally, I feel like it holds a very strong significance, just because justice has not been served.
이 학생을 줘야 될 것 같아요.
네?
터치미나스를 그걸 이 학생을 줘야
아니야, 내가 알아서 할게요, 나중에.
아니 왜냐면 그거를 인권교지로 쓰게끔 학생을 운동해야 될 것 같아요.
아니, 근데 내가 알아서 할게요. 이 사람 알거든요. 그러니까 제가 알아서 할게요. 제가 상황에서. 이 어머님이 알마니안 어머님이고 아버지가 미국 사람이어갖고요. 자, 그래서 지금 그러니까 네덜란드 가서 그런 교육 같은 무슨 프로그램도 했고, 그리고 저는 그 국제 같은 다른 문화에 대해서도 관심이 있어서 그런 정의 그런 거 그 전쟁의 그 피해자 분들 그런 이슈에 대해서 굉장히 관심이 있었어요. 그래갖고 사실 여기 지금 스탠포드 무슨 프로그램에 있는데 거기서 그 일본하고 같이 하는 나라들의 그 관계를 공부하는데 그때 그 위안부 할머니에 대해서 배웠고, 그래서 위안부 이슈는 정말 홀로코스트 유대인이 겪었던 거랑 너무 비슷한데 거기는 벌써 사과를 받고 그랬는데 여기 할머니들은 아직 사과를 못 받아서 이게 너무 그러니까 정당하지가 않아서 그게 매우 가슴에 느껴갖고 이 이슈에 더 관심이 있다고 그럽니다.
그래요. 그거 다른 데는 다 해결했는데 우리 한국만 해결 안 하고 일본 놈들은 하나만 남겨놓고 그 지랄하는 거예요. 근데 이 학생은 그런데 많이 참가했다 하지만은 나는 여기에 덮는 처음 와서 초면인데 어떻게 이렇게 초면 강산에 처음 만나서 어떻게 돼서 발 뻗고 나서서 할머니를 돌봐주겠다고 하는가. 이게 우리는 정말 고마운 일이라고. 난 선생인 줄 아는 데서 학생이라는데 예. 어때나 친구들 잘 새겨갖고 많이 그 못와서 힘을 좀 어떻게 하나 할머니들이 힘 써달라고. 초면에 이렇게 나서서 해주는 게 저는 고마운 말 다 어디다 하겠는지 모르겠지만 너무 고맙다고.
She says thank you. she says thank you, and please, you know, share with your friends, share with your young friend about their story, and let them know the truth, and you know, help them receive an official apology. That's all they want.
엄마가 아르메니아